smoke. Alright, stand up. Aim high. Aim at the top of the tree line.
In the pre-dawn darkness of September, the largest criminal convoy in cartel history begins its final approach toward the U.S. border. This isn't just another smuggling operation. It's a mechanized army of 800 vehicles stretching across 12 miles of Mexican desert, carrying enough illegal contraband to flood American streets for an entire year. But what the cartel doesn't know is that 6,000 U.S. Marines have been waiting for this moment for 6 months. At 4:30 a.m., the convoy emerges from hidden staging areas across 3 Mexican states. Leading this mobile empire are 65 heavily armored command vehicles, each one a rolling fortress equipped with communication arrays, defensive armor plating, and sophisticated electronic warfare systems designed to jam American surveillance. Behind the command vehicles rolls the heart of the operation: 520 cargo trucks, each carrying 15 tons of pure contraband worth over $50 billion in street value. These aren't ordinary trucks. They're reinforced transport vehicles with hidden compartments, false floors, and refrigeration systems to preserve synthetic drugs that have never been seen on American streets. Protecting this fortune are 215 escort vehicles, armored SUVs, modified pickup trucks, and tactical response vehicles manned by over 3,000 cartel operatives. Many are former military personnel from various countries, equipped with military-grade weapons and trained in convoy defense tactics. The convoy's technological capabilities rival those of small nations. Mobile radar stations, disguised as commercial vehicles, sweep continuously for aircraft threats. Electronic jamming systems create a 20-mile bubble of communication interference designed to blind American border surveillance. GPS spoofing equipment feeds false coordinates to any tracking attempts. At the convoy's center, a mobile command center coordinates the entire operation through encrypted satellite links. Real-time intelligence flows from cartel networks across 2 continents, while tactical teams monitor American border patrol frequencies and military communications. The numbers are staggering: 800 vehicles, 3,200 personnel, enough weapons to arm a small army, and contraband worth more than the GDP of some countries. Their route has been planned for 2 years, avoiding Mexican military positions in civilian areas while following paths that should be invisible to American detection. But U.S. intelligence has been tracking every vehicle, every communication, and every movement for 8 months. The convoy isn't heading toward an undefended border crossing. It's driving directly into the most devastating Marine ambush in modern military history. 200 miles north, across the rugged terrain of southern Arizona, 6,000 U.S. Marines prepare to execute the largest ground combat operation on American soil since World War II. Operation Desert Hammer represents more than border security. It's a demonstration of Marine Corps firepower so overwhelming that it will redefine how cartels think about challenging American sovereignty. The planning for Operation Desert Hammer began 8 months ago when intelligence agencies first detected unusual patterns in cartel communications and resource movements. What initially appeared to be routine trafficking operations gradually revealed themselves as something unprecedented: the largest coordinated criminal operation ever attempted against American territory. Marine Corps planners, working with intelligence specialists from multiple agencies, developed a response that would demonstrate American military capabilities while adhering to strict rules of engagement designed to minimize casualties and collateral damage. The operation represents the first time in Marine Corps history that such massive forces have been deployed domestically for law enforcement support. The force structure is massive and unprecedented. Elements from 3 Marine Expeditionary Units, supported by armor, artillery, aviation, and special operations assets that transform 300 square miles of desert into a controlled engagement zone. Every element of Marine Corps Combined Arms Doctrine is represented in the operation. From Camp Pendleton, 2,400 Marines from the 1st Marine Division, including infantry battalions specially trained in desert warfare, mechanized units equipped with LAV-25 light armored vehicles, and reconnaissance teams that have been pre-positioned for weeks in concealed observation posts throughout the engagement area. These Marines represent the finest infantry training in the world. Each has completed advanced desert warfare schools, urban combat training, and specialized courses in vehicle interdiction and personnel processing. Their equipment includes the latest generation of night vision systems, communication equipment, and weapons that provide overwhelming advantages over any criminal organization. From Marine Corps Air Station Yuma, 1,800 Marines, including close air support squadrons flying FA-18 Hornets and AV-8B Harriers, transport helicopters, and ground crews that established forward operating bases throughout the engagement zone weeks before the operation began. The aviation elements provide capabilities that no criminal organization can match. FA-18 Hornets carry precision-guided munitions that can disable specific vehicles without harming personnel. AV-8B Harriers provide close air support that can respond within minutes to any threat. Transport helicopters enable rapid movement of personnel and supplies across the vast engagement area. From 29 Palms, 1,200 Marines, including artillery batteries with M777 howitzers, anti-armor teams equipped with Javelin missiles, and logistics specialists managing the massive supply requirements for sustained operations involving 6,000 Marines in desert conditions. The artillery capabilities alone exceed those of most national armies. M777 howitzers can deliver precision fires with GPS-guided ammunition that can disable vehicles without harming occupants. Javelin missile systems can engage armored targets at ranges exceeding 4 kilometers with precision that eliminates collateral damage risks. Supporting the Marine ground forces are specialized units that turn the desert into an inescapable tactical environment. Electronic warfare teams create communication blackouts across hundreds of square miles. Intelligence units monitor every cartel frequency, while cyber warfare specialists prepare to penetrate the convoy's computer systems. Artillery positions, carefully surveyed and pre-registered, can deliver precision fires across the entire engagement area. Anti-armor teams with advanced targeting systems can engage vehicles at ranges exceeding 4 kilometers. Infantry fighting positions, dug and camouflaged over weeks of preparation, create overlapping fields of fire that leave no escape routes. The coordination required is unprecedented for a domestic operation. Every Marine operates within precisely defined sectors, communication frequencies, and rules of engagement. Digital battle management systems ensure that 6,000 Marines can coordinate simultaneously without fratricide risk or communication conflicts. Most importantly, the operation includes comprehensive rules of engagement designed to minimize collateral damage while achieving total tactical dominance. Every cartel vehicle is tracked, every operative identified, and every piece of contraband accounted for before the first shot is fired. The chosen engagement area spans 300 square miles of Sonoran Desert, selected for its isolation from civilian populations and terrain advantages for Marine operations. Every ridgeline, every valley, and every potential escape route has been mapped, surveyed, and assigned to specific Marine units. The engagement zone is divided into 8 sectors, each controlled by a different Marine battalion. Overlapping observation zones ensure that no vehicle can move without being tracked by multiple units. Pre-positioned supply caches enable sustained combat operations without returning to main bases. Electronic warfare systems create a complete communications blackout that prevents the convoy from coordinating with external support. GPS jamming disrupts navigation, while radio interference eliminates communication between convoy vehicles. The cartel's sophisticated electronic warfare capabilities, designed to defeat American surveillance, become useless against Marines operating with direct visual contact and hardened communication systems. At 5:15 a.m., reconnaissance drones confirm that the cartel convoy has entered the outer engagement area. The massive formation stretches across 12 miles of desert highway, moving at 55 miles per hour toward what they believe is a lightly defended border crossing. What they don't realize is that they're driving into a Marine ambush so comprehensive, so perfectly coordinated, that escape is impossible. In 18 minutes, when they reach the primary kill zone, 6,000 Marines will demonstrate why challenging the United States Marine Corps is a fatal miscalculation. The desert appears empty. The morning sky shows no aircraft. But beneath the desert floor, behind every ridgeline and in every concealed position, the most lethal fighting force on Earth waits in perfect silence. 5:33 a.m. The Sonoran Desert stretches endlessly under the morning sun, its silence broken only by the rumble of 800 vehicles grinding across the hardpan. The cartel convoy maintains perfect formation, their encrypted radios buzzing with routine updates. Electronic countermeasures sweep continuously, detecting no threats, no surveillance, no Marines. Their confidence is absolute. For 63 minutes, they've traveled through empty desert without encountering any resistance. Border crossings that intelligence indicated were heavily defended show no activity. American patrol aircraft that should be monitoring these areas are nowhere to be seen. What they don't understand is that they're not avoiding American forces. They're being channeled into the most lethal ground ambush ever prepared by the United States Marine Corps. The first M777 howitzer shell impacts 50 meters in front of the lead vehicle. The 155mm high-explosive round creates a crater 8 feet wide and sends a message that cannot be misunderstood. Stop immediately or face complete annihilation. The convoy's lead vehicles slam on their brakes as the desert around them erupts with Marines. From concealed positions that seemed empty moments before, 6,000 Marines rise like a mechanical tide, their weapons trained on every vehicle, every escape route, every potential threat. The Marines have arrived, and the cartel's nightmare begins. The psychological impact is immediate and devastating. Convoy drivers who felt secure in their massive numbers suddenly find themselves surrounded by Marine infantry positions that stretch for miles in every direction. The sight is overwhelming. Marines emerging from spider holes, fighting positions, and concealed bunkers that transform the empty desert into a fortified battlefield. LAV-25 light armored vehicles take positions at 500-meter intervals along the convoy's flanks. Their 25mm chain guns trained on lead vehicles and potential escape routes. The message is unmistakable. Any attempt to flee or resist will result in immediate and overwhelming response. Marine infantry teams begin establishing checkpoints at predetermined coordinates, sealing every intersection, vehicle access point, and potential escape route. Within 90 seconds, the convoy discovers that every exit is blocked by Marines equipped with anti-armor weapons, machine guns, and artillery support. FA-18 Hornets appear overhead, their presence announced by supersonic booms that echo across the desert. The aircraft take station at different altitudes, creating an aerial umbrella that extends for 50 miles in every direction. Any cartel reinforcements attempting to approach the engagement area will face immediate air interdiction. The convoy's leadership attempts to coordinate a response, but their sophisticated communication systems are completely jammed by Marine electronic warfare units. GPS displays show false coordinates, radio traffic is flooded with interference, and encrypted communication networks are compromised by systems the cartels never knew existed. Marine infantry teams begin precision deployment operations, moving to specific convoy positions identified through months of intelligence gathering. Their mission isn't to engage the entire convoy simultaneously. It's to systematically isolate and secure key vehicles while maintaining total tactical control. Command vehicles, identified through surveillance as containing cartel leadership, receive special attention. Marine teams equipped with specialized breaching equipment and non-lethal weapon systems move to disable these vehicles and secure their occupants for intelligence exploitation. The convoy's security teams attempt to establish defensive positions, but quickly realize they're facing an impossible tactical situation. Ground-based weapons are ineffective against Marines operating from prepared positions with artillery and air support. Every movement is tracked by reconnaissance teams equipped with thermal imaging and real-time communication systems. Cargo trucks containing the most valuable contraband are identified and secured individually. Marine units, equipped with detailed intelligence about convoy composition, know exactly which vehicles to prioritize. Within minutes, the most critical elements of the shipment are under U.S. control. LAV-25s demonstrate precision engagement capabilities by disabling specific convoy vehicles, targeting engines, tires, and communication equipment while avoiding injury to personnel. The message is clear. Marines can selectively neutralize any vehicle at any time, but are exercising restraint in accordance with rules of engagement. Marine logistics teams deploy mobile processing stations directly onto the desert floor. These temporary facilities, designed for rapid deployment in combat zones, can handle vehicle searches, personnel processing, and evidence documentation on a massive scale. The convoy's defensive systems prove completely inadequate against Marine ground operations. Electronic jamming equipment, designed to disrupt American surveillance and communications, is useless against Marines operating with direct visual contact and hardened tactical radio networks. Artillery teams demonstrate precision fire support by placing warning shots with surgical accuracy, close enough to convoy vehicles to demonstrate capability, but precisely controlled to avoid casualties. The psychological effect is devastating as cartel operatives realize they're facing firepower that can destroy their entire convoy in minutes. Marine reconnaissance teams coordinate the entire operation through real-time intelligence sharing. Every convoy vehicle is tracked, every person accounted for, and every piece of evidence documented through systems that process information faster than cartel organizations can respond. By minute 15, the transformation is complete. What began as the largest criminal convoy in cartel history has become the most comprehensive law enforcement seizure ever conducted. Not through destruction or violence, but through overwhelming tactical superiority and precision coordination. The convoy's 3,200 personnel face a choice they never anticipated: immediate cooperation with Marines who clearly possess overwhelming tactical advantages, or resistance against military capabilities they cannot comprehend. The vast majority choose immediate cooperation. Marine military police units, supported by intelligence specialists, begin systematic documentation of personnel, vehicles, and contraband. The scale is enormous. 800 vehicles to search, over 3,200 individuals to process, and tens of billions of dollars in illegal substances to catalog and secure. The convoy's leadership, isolated in their command vehicles by precision Marine operations, discover that their encrypted communications have been monitored for months. Every plan, every route change, every contingency, and every backup strategy has been anticipated by American intelligence. Intelligence teams begin systematic interviews with convoy personnel. Most are cooperative, understanding that their situation is hopeless and their best option is full collaboration with American authorities. The information gathered reveals cartel networks spanning dozens of countries and criminal operations exceeding government intelligence estimates. At minute 21, the Marine Operation Commander transmits a status update that makes military history. 6,000 Marines on station, 800 vehicles secured, 3,200 plus personnel in custody, 0 friendly casualties, 0 enemy casualties, mission accomplished ahead of schedule. The convoy's sophisticated electronic warfare systems are systematically shut down and cataloged. Equipment worth tens of millions of dollars, designed to evade American surveillance, becomes evidence of cartel technical capabilities and international supply networks. Financial records discovered in command vehicles reveal the economic scale of the operation. The convoy represents not just one shipment, but the culmination of cartel investment exceeding $2 billion. Its capture disrupts criminal financing across multiple organizations and countries. By minute 25, the largest criminal convoy in cartel history has become the most successful ground operation in Marine Corps history. The desert floor, which moments before witnessed the movement of 800 criminal vehicles, now hosts a systematic law enforcement operation coordinated by 6,000 Marines. 25 minutes. That's all it took for 6,000 U.S. Marines to transform the largest criminal convoy in history into the most comprehensive contraband seizure ever conducted. But Operation Desert Hammer was designed for more than interdiction. It was planned as a demonstration of Marine Corps capabilities so overwhelming that it would fundamentally alter how cartels think about challenging American sovereignty. The systematic processing of 800 vehicles and over 3,200 personnel begins immediately. But the intelligence gathered during the first hour exceeds all expectations and fundamentally changes law enforcement understanding of modern cartel operations. 6 a.m. The desert floor has been transformed into the world's largest temporary military police facility. Mobile processing stations, established by Marine logistics units, conduct systematic operations for vehicle searches, personnel documentation, and evidence collection on a scale never before attempted. The intelligence gathered revolutionizes understanding of cartel capabilities. The convoy's computer systems contain detailed records of criminal operations across 73 countries, financial transactions worth $340 billion, supply chain relationships involving tens of thousands of individuals, and distribution networks spanning every continent except Antarctica are discovered within the first hour of systematic investigation. One discovery proves particularly valuable: encrypted communication logs revealing real-time coordination with 487 other criminal convoys across Central and South America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. Operation Desert Hammer has captured not just one convoy, but exposed a global transportation network that authorities never knew existed. Chemical analysis of the seized contraband reveals synthetic compounds that represent entirely new categories of illegal substances. Cartel organizations haven't just been transporting traditional drugs, they've been developing and manufacturing chemical weapons, biological agents, and synthetic materials with effects that could devastate entire populations. The convoy's personnel provide intelligence that revolutionizes understanding of modern criminal organization. This wasn't just transportation, it was a mobile corporation with research and development departments, quality control systems, human resources management, and operational security that exceeds many legitimate multinational companies. Most shocking of all, the convoy was carrying technical blueprints for manufacturing facilities, distribution networks, and corruption systems designed to establish permanent cartel presence in major American cities. The operation wasn't just drug trafficking, it was the advance element of a criminal invasion. 8 a.m. Using the convoy's own communication systems and encryption keys, American intelligence begins coordinated operations against associated criminal networks worldwide. The captured protocols provide access to cartel operations across 6 continents. Within hours, the intelligence gathered from Operation Desert Hammer enables simultaneous law enforcement actions in 47 countries. Hidden manufacturing facilities, financial networks worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and transportation routes that span the globe become targets for coordinated international operations. The psychological impact on criminal organizations worldwide proves as devastating as the physical seizure. The complete failure of their most ambitious and heavily defended convoy sends a clear message: no cartel operation, regardless of scale, sophistication, or resources, can operate beyond American reach when the Marines are deployed. European law enforcement agencies, using intelligence provided by Marine units, simultaneously raid cartel facilities in 12 countries. Asian authorities, coordinating with American intelligence, shut down manufacturing operations that were producing synthetic drugs for global distribution. African nations discover that their territories were being used as transit points for operations they never suspected existed. 10 a.m. With initial processing complete, the convoy's transformation into evidence continues. Every vehicle, every piece of equipment, every document, and every communication device becomes part of legal proceedings that will impact criminal organizations for decades. The seized contraband, over 12,000 tons of illegal substances worth $50 billion, requires specialized handling and documentation. Mobile laboratories, established by marine chemical specialists, Conduct field analysis that reveals manufacturing techniques and chemical compositions that represent years of criminal research and development. Environmental teams ensure that the massive seizure doesn't create ecological hazards. The desert location, carefully chosen for its isolation, allows for safe processing of dangerous materials, including chemical weapons and biological agents, without risk to civilian populations. Most importantly, the operation provides a complete blueprint of cartel infiltration into American society. Documents discovered in command vehicles reveal corruption networks involving thousands of individuals in government, law enforcement, and private industry across multiple countries. By noon, carefully controlled information about Operation Desert Hammer begins appearing in international media. The images are dramatic. 6,000 Marines coordinating over 800 seized vehicles, American personnel processing the largest contraband seizure in history, and over 3,200 cartel operatives being systematically documented according to international law. The Pentagon statement is comprehensive but understated. U.S. Marine Corps forces successfully intercepted and secured the largest criminal convoy ever detected approaching American borders. The operation resulted in the seizure of over $50 billion in illegal substances and the apprehension of more than 3,200 individuals involved in international trafficking operations. This operation demonstrates the Marine Corps' capability to defend American sovereignty through overwhelming tactical superiority and precision coordination. For cartel organizations worldwide, the implications are catastrophic and permanent. The complete failure of their most ambitious, most heavily defended, and most technologically advanced operation proves that American military capabilities can defeat any criminal strategy, regardless of scale, sophistication, or resources. European cartels abandon large-scale operations, understanding that American intelligence can track and coordinate international responses. Asian criminal organizations discover that their secure communication networks were compromised and monitored. African trafficking routes are shut down as governments realize the extent of cartel infiltration in their territories. By evening, the Sonoran Desert has returned to its natural silence, but the impact of Operation Desert Hammer reverberates across the global criminal underworld. The 800 vehicles have been transported to secure facilities for detailed analysis. The 3,200-plus personnel have been processed according to international law and are providing intelligence that reshapes law enforcement understanding of modern crime. And the contraband has been secured for legal proceedings that will continue for years. The operation achieves more than interdiction. It fundamentally destroys the operational foundation of international cartel activities. Criminal organizations worldwide abandon large-scale transportation, understanding that Marine Corps capabilities can detect, track, and defeat any ground-based strategy they can devise. For the United States Marine Corps, Operation Desert Hammer becomes a demonstration of ground combat capabilities that exceed theoretical limits. The successful coordination of 6,000 Marines in a single operation proves that American military forces can conduct complex missions on scales that overwhelm any criminal organization. Most importantly, the operation sends a message that resonates far beyond the desert battlefield. When American sovereignty is challenged, the United States Marine Corps responds with capabilities that criminal organizations cannot comprehend. Coordination they cannot match, and firepower they cannot survive. The cartels sought to prove that massive scale and sophisticated planning could guarantee success against American defenses. Instead, they discovered that Marine Corps power operates on scales beyond their comprehension, with tactical capabilities they cannot counter, and with precision they cannot escape. 6,000 Marines, 800 vehicles, 3,200-plus personnel, and $50 billion in contraband. The numbers tell the complete story. When criminal ambition challenges American sovereignty, the United States Marine Corps delivers swift, total, and absolute victory. The desert is quiet now, but around the world, criminal organizations have learned a lesson they will never forget. There is no convoy too large, no operation too sophisticated, and no strategy too clever to escape American justice when it arrives with Marine Corps precision and overwhelming firepower. Semper Fi. Mission accomplished.